Hello and welcome. Today's topic is our development of the appendicular skeleton. As you already know about that, this skeleton consists of our upper limbs, lower limbs and the pelvic girdle. Pelvic girdle means all the bones of the pelvic area. Now the lateral plate mesoderm migrates towards the limb buds and condensation occurs along with each side of the central axis to the formation of the skeletal components of the limbs. Now the bones present inside of these small limb buds, as you can see in this photo, the formation of the bones develops in a sequence of proximo-distal manner. Okay. Now the development of the appendicular skeleton occurs in two steps. First step is development of the limb buds, and the second step is development of the limb bones. Both occur simultaneously, but first of all let me talk about the development of the limb buds. After 4th week of gestational day, the limb buds these are actually outpouching of the ventrolateral aspect of the body. Initially 4 limbs develops, and after 2 to 3 days hind limbs develops. After 6th week of gestational day, the ectoderm presents at the tip of the limb buds, as you can see in this photo. This ectoderm thickens and forms apical ectodermal ridges, okay, and terminal part of the limb buds becomes flat, forms the foot plate and hand plates, okay. Later this foot plate and hand plate becomes palm and sole. After a few weeks, what happens, distal to this hand plate or foot plate, a second constriction appears in the limb, and due to this constriction, entire limb divides into two segments. One is proximal, another is distal. Proximal part we call it forearm, and the distal part we call it hand. Same to same in lower limb. The proximal part we call it thigh, and the distal part we call it leg. And when the cells of these apical ectodermal ridges dies, after that the digits forms, the fingers and the toes forms after a few weeks. Okay. Now one important thing, during 7th week of gestational day, the upper limb rotates 90 degree laterally and the lower limb rotates 90 degree medially. Okay. And now the development of the bones of the limbs, the upper limbs and lower limbs. First of all, during 5th week of gestational day, these mesenchymal cells condensation occurs inside the limb and forms a primary model of the bones. And after 6th week, these bones get into chondrification to form the hyaline cartilage of the bones. And then this hyaline cartilage goes into ossification to form the bones. Now you are getting the idea that all the bones of the upper limb and lower limb forms in a endochondral ossification manner or the cartilaginous ossification manner, except the clavicle, because this clavicle ossifies as a membranous ossification. So this is all about a very short video of the development of the appendicular skeleton. There is nothing much to know about this. So see you in the next video. Then bye.